Now, once the contour line is laid out, then we want to come in here with these darker areas. Everywhere you see a dark value, remember our cool colors, when we layer them together, that's your blues and your greens and your purples, they help to make other colors darker. Lay this is Parma Violet. Again, this is a great color to start with, no matter what you're doing, no matter what color your object is, no matter what your local color is. Local color is the color of the object. So we're just laying our foundation so that we can continue for us to make a nice, rich, dark, pretty green. We need some nice cool colors in the mix. We're just leaving this area right here and a few of these areas for the yellow. This is serving two purposes. This is darkening our dark values, and they're already nice and pretty and rich because this is the third color we've added. We're making this area darker and darker, but we're not using black. We are using all of our dark cool colors, just like we did when we did the value scale in the sphere. So anytime you're drawing some, doesn't matter what you're drawing, if it has some dark values, dark blacks, dark grays, dark browns, these are the colors that you will use. Tuscan red. Red is the complement of green, so it does a very nice job making green darker. Let's go with a dark green because we have all these nice colors laid down. When we put this dark green on top of it, it'll be a nice rich dark green. So we want to keep the edges soft in this shadow. So between these colors and values, we have a soft value transition. I would suggest getting to know the colors in the box in the 24 set to begin with, just so you can really anticipate what you need to pick up when you see a color that you need to build. So remember, we are building color here. Really is very important that your value transitions be correct and that you build your color. Colored pencil is a group effort, meaning that all of these colors work together. I mean, Prismacolor manufactures a box of 150 pencils. Surely it's for a reason. And when you lay your cool colors down in these, like in this area that I'm in right now, you know, this guy's green at the end of the day, so I'm going to come back over this with my grass green over all of these blues and purples that we put down, and right in this area we're going to get a nice pretty rich green. And there's a little bit lighter area in here. Now you can work around this and leave it lighter, or you can go back with white at the end. And like, I forgot to add this, the little highlights here, so I'll go back with white at the end and put those in. If you look at this gummy bear, the colors shift all the way through. They go from yellow green to on this side to blue green on this side, and then of course you have this yellow highlight over here. Now, you know, that's just caused by the light hitting our gummy. He's really not yellow, but this is what the properties of light will do to an object. I think think this area of our shadow needs to be a little darker. So I'm going to go for this dark green, and I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to put some blue violet underneath of it just to make it a little bit darker. See how that helps it get darker? Oh, we're almost making a black. And black is created by mixing blue violet and dark green and indigo blue and Tuscan red. That's your, what I like to call your arsenal for making a really nice chromatic black. And I'm pushing a little bit harder here just so I can push the wax in the pencil down into the tooth of the paper. You can see all of the little white marks through the pencil, and that is the tooth of the paper. You want to interpret the reference photo, but you want the color in your drawing to be much more beautiful and much more dimensional than the color provided in the reference. But if you just evaluate, really evaluate the reference for all of the intense colors that are in front of you, you can create a really beautiful, deeply dimensional colored pencil piece. So remember, soft transition here, crisp on the edges, soft within the bear. Let's put a little bit over here. Taking my dark green, putting it over top of my blues and purples. It's my finish. Then you want to lay your finish or your top colors. If your gummy bear's green, then on top of all these darks, you're going to want some green. You know, as long as you're pressing lightly, you know, it's okay to press dark toward the end, but as long as you're pressing lightly in the beginning, you'll have lots of latitude to work the values and the colors. You know, just don't go crazy pressing so hard that you build up so much wax that you can't layer. So we want there to be a nice crisp edge around the edge of this gummy bear. We don't want an outline, we do want an edge. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of dragging the color together around the edge. Let's make this kind of crisp. So now here's the dark green on top of these few little places that I think needed a little more value. And there you have it. This is Tiffany Fox, and thank you for watching my tutorial. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.